Okay, big news for 2025. The way your company files taxes in Indonesia is about to get a major shakeup. A brand new digital system called Coretax is rolling out, and it's designed to streamline, well, everything. So we're going to break down exactly what this upgrade means for you and how to navigate your corporate tax return. Look, I get it. Anytime you hear new tax system, your mind probably goes straight to headaches and complicated new rules, right? But the whole point of Coretax is actually simplification. So today, our goal is to walk through it together, step by step, and make this whole transition feel as smooth as possible for you.
So here's our game plan. We've broken this down into 5 key parts. We'll start with a quick introduction to Coretax itself, then we'll dive into understanding your income and calculating what you owe. From there, we'll do a visual walkthrough of the new forms before we wrap up with that final declaration. So let's kick things off with Section 1. Welcome to Coretax. And let me be clear, this isn't just a fresh coat of paint on an old website. No, this is a complete overhaul, designed to pull all of Indonesia's tax administration into one single streamlined digital system.
The big idea here? It all comes down to one word: simplification. Just imagine this: a central hub that automatically pulls in your company's financial data from all these different government sources. The promise is way less manual data entry for you, which should mean fewer errors and a much faster process overall.
All right, let's move on to Section 2. Before we even think about touching a single form, we have to talk about the absolute bedrock of your tax return: correctly understanding and classifying your company's income. Honestly, everything else is built on top of this. So, what does Indonesian tax law actually mean when they say penghasilan, or income? Well, the definition is incredibly broad. Seriously, think of it like this. If your company receives any kind of economic benefit from anywhere in the world that you can either spend or use to grow your wealth, guess what? It counts as income. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. All that income gets sorted into 3 critical buckets. First, you've got PayPay Tidak Final. Think of this as your regular business income that all gets added up at the end of the year. Second is PayPay Final, where the tax is handled right away, on the spot. And third, Bukan Obik PayPay. This is income that the law literally says is not taxable. Getting your money into the right bucket from the very start is absolutely essential. Okay, once you've sorted your income into those buckets, we are ready for Section 3, calculating what you actually owe. Let's walk through this process. This flowchart really lays it all out perfectly. You start with your total income, right? Then, and this is a big one, you get to subtract any losses from past years. What's left over is your taxable income. You apply the tax rate to that number, but here comes the really important part: subtracting all those tax credits you've already paid throughout the year. And that final number? That tells you if you still owe something, if you're getting a refund, or if you've hit it right on the nose. So what exactly are these credits that can shrink your final tax bill? Well, think of them as receipts for taxes you've already paid during the year. This includes tax withheld on imports under Article 22, on services under Article 23, taxes you've paid in other countries under Article 24, and probably the biggest one, the monthly installments you've been paying all year long under Article 25. And this slide? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is a real screenshot from the actual Coretax form. See this section right here, Pengurang PPH Turutang? That literally means reductions to tax payable. And boom, right there are the lines where you declare those foreign tax credits and your monthly installments. It's all laid out super clearly.
This brings us perfectly to Section 4, a practical, hands-on walkthrough of the Coretax interface. We're going to peek at a few key screens so you can see exactly how this thing works. Now, one of the very first things the system's going to ask you is about that third income bucket we talked about, the Bukan Objek PPH, your non-taxable income. Your answer here is like a fork in the road. It literally changes the path you take through the rest of the form. And here it is, live on the form. Look right there in Section C, Question 3. It's asking you point blank, did you get any non-taxable income? How you answer ya or tidak, yes or no, right here is going to change what you see next. And this is a fantastic example of what makes Coretax a smart form. The second you click yeah, yes, I did receive non-taxable income, the form instantly adapts and a whole new section just pops up, asking you for the details. And here's what appears. See? No more hunting around for some separate attachment to fill out. It's all built right in. You just click Add,
and you get this simple little drop-down menu. You can pick the exact type of income, like dividends, and just plug in the amount. It's just so much more intuitive. We're almost there, folks. The home stretch. Section 5 is all about those final checks. And of course, the most critical step before you hit submit, the formal declaration that says, yes, everything I've entered is accurate. Before you get to that final signature, you're going to come across the pernyataan transaksi, or transaction declaration section. It's basically a checklist of yes or no questions about specific activities, like whether you have related party transactions or if you're maintaining transfer pricing documents. You have to answer each one of these questions carefully. And this is the final crucial screen, the pernyataan, or the declaration. When you check this box, you are making a legally binding statement that everything in your return is benar, lengkap, dan jelas, true, complete, and clear. It's a serious step, acknowledging that there are consequences if the information is wrong. Once you're confident, you hit bayar dan lapor, pay and report, and that's it. You're done. So, let's do a quick recap of the whole Coretax journey. It really boils down to 4 steps. First, sort your income into the right buckets. Second, run the calculation. Third, use those smart forms to declare everything accurately. And fourth, make that final declaration with full confidence. Which brings us to a final thought. Coretax isn't just a new way to file. It signals a future of real-time data exchange between your business and the tax office. So the big question to consider is, how will your business adapt to not just comply with this, but to actually leverage this new world of real-time financial data? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.